Ladies and gentlemen, you must understand something very important in your life is too valuable to be spent on people who have shown that they do not honor or respect you. The idea of second chances, especially when it comes to people who have hurt you, is not just a matter of forgiveness, it is a matter of preserving your dignity, your peace, and your future. We live in a world where many are quick to offer second chances, but rarely do they stop to consider the cost. There are individuals who will take your kindness for granted, use you, and then expect you to open your heart to them again when they return unchanged. But you must ask yourself, is it worth it? Is it worth the risk of allowing people back into your life who have already shown that they cannot be trusted with your heart, your time, or your energy? Your time, your peace, and your future are far too precious to be put at risk by those who have already demonstrated that they are not worthy of it. Let me say this clearly, people do not deserve second chances simply because they ask for them. They earn second chances by proving through their actions that they have truly changed, that they have learned from their mistakes, and that they will not repeat the behavior that caused harm in the first place. But we live in a society that has glorified the idea of unconditional forgiveness and giving people another opportunity no matter the damage they have caused. Yet, I ask you, if someone breaks your trust, betrays your love, or harms your well-being, what evidence do you have that they have truly changed? More importantly, how many times will you allow someone to take advantage of you before you realize that you are not doing them a favor by offering them another chance? The truth is, some people will only respect you when you establish boundaries, and sometimes the greatest gift you can give to someone who has hurt you is the gift of absence. When someone has hurt you, dishonored you, or taken advantage of your trust, offering them a second chance sends the wrong message that you are willing to tolerate mistreatment for the sake of keeping the peace or maintaining a relationship that is not healthy for you. This is a dangerous cycle. It is a pattern that will continue as long as you allow it. And each time you offer a second chance to someone who hasn't earned it, you teach them that they can continue treating you poorly and that you will always accept them back, no matter the harm they cause. I want to challenge you today to change the narrative. You are not obligated to give someone a second chance simply because they ask for it or because they promise they will change. People's words are meaningless when their actions do not match them. Too often, we get caught up in the cycle of hoping, wishing, and waiting for people to change. But change only comes when individuals make the conscious decision to do the work. When they show remorse, not just in words, but in consistent positive actions, then and only then are they worthy of being allowed back into your life. Your life is not a playground for people to come in and out of at will. You must protect your peace, your time, and your energy. You have a vision, a purpose, and a destiny that cannot be delayed by people who have shown you that they are not aligned with where you are going. If you continue to allow people back into your life who have proven that they will not respect you or your boundaries, you are choosing to sacrifice your potential for the sake of their comfort. Understand this, you are not required to make other people feel better about their mistakes, especially when they are not truly remorseful for them. Their guilt is not your responsibility. By refusing to give people second chances when they haven't earned them, you send a powerful message to the universe that you respect yourself. You show that you are not someone who can be easily swayed by promises or pleas. You are someone who values your time, your peace, and your future. And when you protect those things, you attract people who truly respect you and who add value to your life, not those who simply take and take without giving anything back. It's important to remember that you are the architect of your life, and that includes the relationships you choose to nurture and invest in. If someone has hurt you, disrespected you, or betrayed you, it is not your responsibility to constantly open the door for them to walk back in. In fact, it is often a disservice to both parties. For them, it prevents them from facing the full consequences of their actions, and for you, it keeps you stuck in a cycle of pain, disappointment, and unresolved issues. You must be willing to make the hard decision to walk away when necessary, even when it feels uncomfortable or painful. Sometimes the greatest act of love you can show someone is to love them from a distance. You may feel that offering a second chance is the right thing to do, but you must ask yourself, what is the cost of that second chance? If it comes at the expense of your peace, your emotional health, or your future, then it is not a decision worth making. It is easy to fall into the trap of thinking that forgiveness means allowing people back into your life. But true forgiveness is not about giving people another opportunity to hurt you. Forgiveness is about releasing the negative emotions you have towards that person and freeing yourself from the burden of resentment. Forgiveness is for you, not them. It is a way of setting yourself free so that you can move forward with your life unburdened by past pain. But forgiving someone does not mean that you have to give them access to your life again. You can forgive them, but still protect yourself from further harm by keeping a safe distance. Let's be clear, protecting your peace is not selfish, it is necessary. You cannot give your best to the world, to your work, or to the people who truly matter if you are constantly in emotional turmoil, constantly dealing with the toxicity of relationships that are not in alignment with your growth. Your peace is a treasure that must be guarded at all costs. And part of guarding your peace is making the decision to stop offering second chances to people who have shown you that they cannot be trusted with it. Sometimes the hardest thing to do is to let go, especially when we have invested time, energy, and emotions into a personal relationship. But remember this, your future, your potential, and your happiness are more important than clinging to relationships that no longer serve you. The greatest gift you can give yourself is the freedom to move forward, unburdened by the weight of past mistakes and misjudgments. The truth is, some people are not meant to walk with you on your journey, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that they are bad people, it simply means that they are not aligned with your path. Let them go. Let them make their own decisions and live their own life, but don't let their choices dictate your peace or your future. Don't give them a second chance to hurt you, and don't allow them to keep you from your destiny. The path ahead is too valuable, too precious, and too important to be hindered by those who do not appreciate the treasure that you are. So I challenge you today to make a commitment to yourself. Stop giving second chances to people who have not earned them. Stop allowing people who have hurt you to come back into your life without demonstrating a genuine change in their behavior. Guard your peace, protect your time, and safeguard your future. Your life is a precious gift, and you deserve relationships that honor and respect that. Only allow into your life those who are worthy of your trust, your love, and your time. Your life is one of the most precious gifts you will ever receive. It is the one thing that you can never replace, and once it is gone, it cannot be returned. Every day you wake up, you are granted another opportunity to live, to grow, to create, and to experience the world in all its vastness. But here's something you need to understand. The value of your life isn't just in the amount of time you have on this earth. It's also in how you choose to spend that time, where you invest your energy, and what you allow to shape your experiences. There are many forces that will try to distract you, to pull you in different directions, and to steal your energy. People will come into your life with their demands, their problems, and their expectations. Opportunities will arise that look attractive, but ultimately drain your time and peace. The question you must ask yourself is, are you truly protecting the value of your life by giving yourself over to all of these things, or are you allowing them to slowly deplete the very essence of who you are? You must understand that your life in its purest form is a treasure. It is not something to be given away lightly, not something to be taken for granted. Every moment that passes is an opportunity for you to either contribute to the world around you or allow yourself to be distracted by the noise of life. How many moments have you lost giving them away to people who don't respect you or don't add value to your life? How much of your time have you spent in environments that don't inspire you or help you grow? The truth is that your life is a canvas and you are the artist. What you allow to be painted on that canvas is up to you. If you spend your time with people who only take from you, who don't respect your boundaries, who make you feel small or insignificant, you are allowing your life's masterpiece to be distorted. If you spend your days chasing things that don't align with your purpose or your values, you are choosing to paint your canvas with dull colors instead of vibrant ones. The strokes of your actions, the people you choose to surround yourself with, and the energy you give to your endeavors all contribute to the image of your life. And you, my friend, have the power to choose what that picture will look like. Your time and energy are your most valuable resources. You can lose money and earn it back. You can lose possessions and replace them. But you cannot replace time. Once a moment is gone forever. So how you spend your time determines how much of your life you truly live. When you allow yourself to get caught up in the trivialities of life, relationships that don't nurture you, work that doesn't fulfill you, habits that drain you, you are wasting the very thing that gives you the chance to become who you were meant to be. And let's not even talk about the people who come into your life with ill intentions. They come with their demands, their expectations, and their drama, and they take from you without giving anything in return. These are the people who drain your energy, steal your peace, and leave you feeling empty. They may seem harmless, but the impact they have on your life is far more significant than you realize. Every moment you give to these people is a moment you can never get back. Every minute you spend entertaining negativity, conflict, or dishonesty is a minute you could have spent growing, creating, and living your best life. It's crucial to realize that not everyone who comes into your life is meant to stay. Some people are only meant to be temporary, and holding on to them too long can result in unnecessary suffering. There are individuals who enter your life and their presence serves as a lesson. They may teach you about who you are, what you value, and what you will tolerate, but once the lesson is learned, there is no need to keep them around. Holding on to people who no longer serve your growth, who continue to drain your energy, or who do not respect your boundaries is not an act of loyalty, it's an act of self-sabotage. Think about your life as a garden. If you keep planting seeds of negativity, toxicity, and pain, your garden will eventually become overrun with weeds. These weeds will choke out the beautiful flowers, the moments of joy, peace, and success that you are meant to experience. And once they take root, it can be difficult to get rid of them. That's why it's important to be selective about what you allow to take root in your life. Not every relationship is worth nurturing. Not every opportunity is worth pursuing. Not every battle is worth fighting. You are the gardener of your own life, and the choices you make determine what grows and what dies. Your life is too valuable to allow others to plant weeds in your garden, to take your precious time and energy, and to leave you with nothing but regret and disappointment. You must protect your life with the same care and attention that a gardener gives to their most prized plants. Choose wisely what you allow to enter your life, and be willing to let go of what no longer serves you. Protecting your life means setting boundaries. It means saying no when you need to. It means refusing to entertain negativity, drama, and distractions that do not align with your higher self. It means choosing to invest your time, energy, and resources in people, projects, and experiences that help you grow and move closer to your purpose. It's about creating space for the things that truly matter, the things that nourish your soul, and the things that bring you peace. You see, when you protect your life, you are not being selfish, you are being wise. You are acknowledging that your time here is limited, and you are choosing to make the most of it. The people who truly respect you, the ones who truly value your time and energy, will understand this. They will support your boundaries. They will respect your choices. The ones who do not, the ones who try to take advantage of your kindness, will eventually fall away, and that is okay. You are not obligated to keep people in your life who do not serve your best interests. So let me ask you this: how much of your life have you been giving away to people, situations, or habits that do not add value to your existence? How much of your precious time have you spent in places that do not align with your dreams, your purpose, and your values? The good news is it's not too late to change that. You can begin today to take back control of your life, to protect your time and energy, and to ensure that every moment counts. Your life is too valuable to let it slip away unnoticed. You are too valuable to be spent on things, people, and experiences that do not bring you joy, growth, or peace. The time is now. The choices you make today will determine the quality of your life tomorrow. Every decision you make, no matter how small, contributes to the larger picture of your existence. Choose wisely. Choose to protect your time, your energy, and your peace. Choose to invest in what truly matters and to let go of what doesn't. Your life is a treasure. It is the most valuable resource you have, and it's time you start treating it that way. You are worth the effort. Your life is worth the effort. Don't waste another moment giving it away to things, people, or situations that do not honor you. Protect your life, cherish it, and use it to create the future you deserve. Second chances are often viewed as a way to show mercy, to offer a lifeline, or to demonstrate that we are forgiving people who understand that everyone makes mistakes. In many aspects of life, second chances are granted in various forms, whether it's in relationships, careers, or personal endeavors. But despite how prevalent this notion of giving second chances is, it's important to remember that second chances are not a right. They are not something that people automatically deserve or are entitled to. Instead, they are privileges that must be earned through actions, consistency, and true remorse. The concept of second chances can easily be misinterpreted. We are often conditioned to believe that we must always give people another shot because it's the right thing to do, or because we are told it's the kind of person we should be. However, the reality is that not everyone who wrongs you deserves another opportunity to do so. The idea of giving second chances is rooted in the belief that people can change and grow, but it is crucial to recognize that this change must be genuine. It's not enough for someone to ask for a second chance or offer an apology. True change is seen in the way they follow through with their actions. There is a significant difference between being compassionate and allowing yourself to be taken advantage of. Compassion is about understanding that people make mistakes and giving them an opportunity to learn and grow from those mistakes. But compassion should never come at the cost of your own well-being, peace of mind, or personal values. Giving someone a second chance should not be about simply being nice or fulfilling some sense of moral duty. It should be a conscious decision based on careful thought and a genuine belief that the person will not repeat the same behavior. The reality is some people only learn the consequences of their actions when those consequences are severe enough to make them understand the weight of their mistakes. Second chances, while they sound like an act of kindness, can sometimes be detrimental. When you give someone a second chance too easily, you may be sending the message that their behavior is acceptable or that the consequences of their actions don't matter. This is especially true when it comes to toxic relationships or situations where trust has been broken repeatedly. If someone has hurt you once, it's one thing to consider whether they deserve another chance. If they've hurt you multiple times, however, offering a second chance becomes an act of self-sabotage. You are telling that person that their mistreatment of you is not only tolerated, but that it's expected to be forgiven without consequence. The problem with giving second chances without proper discernment is that it can create a pattern of allowing people to walk over you. It may be easy to forgive and move on, especially when someone apologizes or expresses regret. However, this act of forgiveness should be contingent upon clear signs that the person has taken responsibility for their actions, truly understands the harm they caused, and is committed to changing their behavior. If these signs are not present, offering a second chance becomes an empty gesture that only opens the door for further disappointment, pain, and hurt. In this sense, second chances can become a tool of manipulation where the person who has wronged you knows they can always count on you to forgive them, regardless of whether they truly change. Additionally, offering second chances without taking into account the full weight of a person's actions may hinder your own growth. When we allow people to repeatedly break our trust, we are not just enabling their bad behavior, we are also enabling ourselves to remain in a stagnant position. There is a danger in not learning the lesson that comes from experiencing betrayal or harm. We may be so focused on the hope that people can change that we fail to realize that some people simply do not. Some individuals are not willing to put in the effort to change, and their words of remorse are just that, words. When you repeatedly offer second chances to people who are not genuinely committed to improving, you waste your time, energy, and emotional investment while also limiting your potential to move forward. Furthermore, offering second chances without caution can breed a sense of complacency in those who make mistakes. People need to feel the weight of their actions. They need to understand the impact of what they have done. If you allow them to avoid the consequences of their behavior by offering second chances too easily, you prevent them from fully recognizing the hurt they have caused. Without this recognition, they will never fully learn from their mistakes. If people know they can always get another opportunity regardless of their actions, they may never take the necessary steps to grow. In this way, offering second chances is not always an act of kindness toward the other person, but rather an enabler of their immaturity and selfishness. It's also important to recognize that second chances are not a way to keep relationships alive that were never meant to last. Not all relationships, whether personal, professional, or romantic, are meant to be permanent. Some relationships are for specific seasons, and when they run their course, they must end. Holding on to the idea of a second chance with someone who is no longer aligned with your values, needs, or goals can prevent you from moving forward in life. By continuing to extend second chances to people who are no longer meant to be in your life, you block the path for healthier, more fulfilling connections to form. Sometimes a relationship is simply over, and holding on to the hope of a second chance is just another way of delaying the inevitable. There is also the matter of emotional exhaustion. Constantly giving second chances to people who have shown you time and time again that they do not value you or your trust can leave you emotionally drained. The mental and emotional toll of repeatedly forgiving and hoping for change can weigh heavily on your spirit. It can lead to feelings of resentment, frustration, and disappointment, which ultimately impact your mental health. This cycle of hoping for change, offering forgiveness, and being disappointed again can become a pattern of emotional abuse that you may not even recognize until you are far down the path. This is why it's essential to recognize that second chances are not something to be given without serious thought, consideration, and understanding of the consequences. When you stop giving second chances indiscriminately, you begin to take control of your life and your emotions. You start to recognize the value of your time, your energy, and your peace of mind. You also begin to acknowledge your own worth, understanding that you do not have to tolerate behavior that undermines your happiness, your sense of self-worth, or your well-being. You no longer allow others to take advantage of your kindness or forgiveness. Instead, you develop the wisdom to discern when a relationship or opportunity is worth another chance and when it is time to move on. Second chances are not a birthright, they are a privilege. They are earned, not expected. The right to another chance must be earned through genuine remorse, consistent actions, and a sincere desire for growth. Don't allow yourself to be deceived by empty words or false promises. Protect your peace, honor your boundaries, and value your time. The reality is that not everyone deserves a second chance. And you must learn to discern who truly deserves it and who doesn't. Your life, your happiness, and your peace are far too valuable to give away without careful consideration. Words are powerful. They can inspire, uplift, motivate, and even deceive. People often say things to express their thoughts, intentions, and emotions, but what truly defines a person's character and determines the depth of their words is their actions. Actions speak louder than words because they reveal the true intentions behind what is said. Words are easy to say, but it is through actions that people demonstrate their real values, priorities, and commitments. In life, we often hear promises, apologies, and declarations, but it is through what people do that we can truly understand their heart, their integrity, and their commitment to change. In the end, it's not what someone says that defines them, but what they do. We live in a world that is increasingly focused on communication, and with the rise of social media, the number of words people speak or type has grown exponentially. We find ourselves surrounded by messages, whether spoken or written, that reflect how people feel, what they want, or what they believe. Words are everywhere, and they have become an easy currency in a world where everyone is trying to be heard. However, words, while significant, are often insufficient without corresponding actions to back them up. The true measure of a person is not in what they say, but in what they do. Actions reveal the truth about someone's character, intentions, and determination. It is easy for someone to say they care, but it's not until they show up for you in your time of need that you know they truly do. Words can be manipulated to serve a purpose, but actions are far harder to fake. Actions reveal a person's level of commitment and reliability. Anyone can claim to have good intentions, but it's the actions they take or fail to take that ultimately determine whether those intentions have substance. The truth is that promises are only valuable when they are accompanied by follow-through. It is easy to say, I will always be there for you, but when push comes to shove, it is what someone does in that moment that matters most. Do they show up when they said they would? Do they make the effort to support you even when it's inconvenient or difficult? These are the moments that truly define a relationship, not the words spoken in passing. The same principle applies in the workplace, in friendships, in love, and even in self-development. It is not enough to say you are committed to your goals. You must take the necessary steps to make them a reality. You can say, I want to be successful, but unless you take concrete actions toward that success, your words mean little. Success does not come from wishful thinking or empty declarations. It comes from consistent, intentional action. People may tell you they want to be wealthy, but their actions will show whether they are truly doing the work necessary to achieve that wealth. It's not enough to talk about what you want. You must show through your actions that you are willing to do what it takes to get it. Similarly, relationships are built on the foundation of actions, not words. It's easy for someone to say, I love you, but love is proven through actions. When someone shows you respect, kindness, and loyalty through the actions, it speaks volumes about the depth of their affection. Love is not just a feeling or a statement. It is an ongoing series of actions that reflect care, concern, and commitment. People can say they love you, but when they consistently make an effort to put you first, show you empathy, and prioritize your well-being, you begin to believe in the truth behind their words. It's in the little things showing up when they say they will, making sacrifices for you, or supporting you during difficult times that love is truly demonstrated. On the other hand, actions can also reveal when words are empty or misleading. We've all encountered people who say one thing and do another. They may make promises, express feelings, or talk about the plans, but when it comes down to action, they fall short. Their words, although they may sound convincing at first, lose their value when their actions fail to align with them. This inconsistency between what is said and what is done can be damaging, especially in relationships where trust is essential. If someone continuously tells you they care, but their actions show indifference or neglect, their words lose credibility. Over time, you begin to understand that actions are a truer reflection of a person's character than their words ever could be. In fact, people often reveal their true intentions through their actions, not their words. If someone says they are committed to a relationship, but their actions demonstrate a lack of interest or effort, their true intentions are made clear. If someone talks about wanting to achieve greatness but does not put in the work, their actions reveal that they are not serious about their goals. Actions expose what a person truly values and whether they are willing to invest the time, energy, and resources required to achieve what they say they want. Words, on the other hand, can easily be fabricated or exaggerated to create a false image. But actions, particularly those that are consistent over time, tell the real story. This is especially important when it comes to personal growth and development. Many people talk about wanting to change, but change requires more than just words. It requires commitment to new habits, new behaviors, and new ways of thinking. Anyone can say they want to be healthier, but unless they take action by making better food choices, exercising regularly, and practicing self-care, their words remain empty. It's easy to talk about wanting to be successful, but real success is built on the foundation of hard work, perseverance, and the ability to take action when faced with challenges. Change doesn't happen by merely wishing or talking about it. It happens when we take concrete steps toward becoming the person we want to be. The phrase actions speak louder than words is not just about assessing others, it also serves as a reminder to hold ourselves accountable. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of making plans and setting goals, but real progress is made when we take action to follow through. It's not enough to talk about what we want. We must be willing to act on our intentions. When we say we want to improve our lives, we must take the necessary steps to make it happen. When we say we want to be better people, we must demonstrate that commitment through our actions. It's easy to talk about how we want things to be different, but nothing will change unless we actively work toward those changes. Moreover, the importance of actions over words goes beyond the individual level. It impacts how we interact with the world and how we are perceived by others. People are often watching what we do more than what we say. Our actions speak volumes about our integrity, reliability, and character. If we consistently act in alignment with our values, others will take notice. They will see that we are not just talking about what we believe in, but that we are living those beliefs through our actions. In this way, our actions can inspire others to take positive action in their own lives. When people see us doing what we say we will do, they are more likely to trust us, respect us, and look to us as a source of inspiration. Ultimately, words are important, but they are not enough. It's easy to say things, but it's much harder to show them through consistent action. Actions reveal who we truly are, what we truly value, and what we are committed to. They speak louder than words ever could because they demonstrate our true intentions and character. It's not what we say that matters most, it's what we do. And it is through our actions that we shape our lives, build meaningful relationships, and create the future we desire. So when it comes to defining who we are, let our actions speak louder than our words. Let them tell the true story of our lives, our values, and our commitment to becoming the best version of ourselves. In a world where personal interactions are diverse and relationships are complex, one of the most essential aspects of maintaining healthy and fulfilling connections with others is the ability to establish boundaries. Boundaries are the invisible lines that define where one person's responsibilities end and another's begin. They are the guidelines we set to protect our emotional, mental, and physical space. Boundaries are not walls that isolate us from others. Instead, they are the necessary markers that ensure we maintain a sense of self-respect and honor our own needs while still being open to the needs of others. By establishing boundaries, we teach others how to treat us, and we also reinforce the importance of respect in every relationship, whether personal or professional. Boundaries are often misunderstood. Some see them as barriers that create distance or disconnect, while others view them as a form of self-preservation that promotes growth and stability. However, boundaries are neither selfish nor rigid. They are an essential tool in maintaining balance and respect in our relationships. When we establish clear boundaries, we are essentially stating, this is who I am, and this is what I will allow in my life. Boundaries are about protecting our peace, preserving our well-being, and cultivating healthy relationships, all while giving others the space to express themselves authentically. It is important to remember that boundaries are not only about keeping things out, they are also about letting the right things in. One of the most significant reasons to establish boundaries is to protect our emotional and mental health. In the fast-paced, high-stress world we live in, it is all too easy to become overwhelmed by the demands of others. Whether it's a friend, family member, co-worker, or even a partner, people will often try to impose their needs, desires, and expectations on us. If we are not careful, we may find ourselves sacrificing our own well-being in the process. Without boundaries, we risk becoming drained, resentful, and even bitter as we give too much of ourselves away to others. When we establish boundaries, we are giving ourselves permission to say no when necessary, to take a step back when we need space, and to protect our energy. This isn't selfish, it's essential self-care. Setting boundaries also helps to avoid feelings of guilt. Many people struggle with guilt when they set limits, fearing that they might disappoint others or seem unkind. This guilt arises because they feel they should always be available or accommodating, but this belief is rooted in a lack of understanding about healthy boundaries. When we fail to establish boundaries, we set ourselves up for burnout, resentment, and frustration. We cannot be everything to everyone, and trying to be can ultimately harm us. Guilt has no place when it comes to protecting your well-being. The truth is, by setting boundaries, we actually become better people because we can show up for others in a way that is sustainable and authentic. It is when we are at our best emotionally and physically that we are truly able to give to others in a way that is healthy and productive. Another important reason to establish boundaries is to ensure that we cultivate respectful and mutually beneficial relationships. Boundaries set the tone for how we expect to be treated. They help others understand our needs, limitations, and values. When we communicate our boundaries clearly, we are giving others the opportunity to respect our needs and adjust their behaviors accordingly. This fosters a sense of mutual respect and trust in relationships. Without boundaries, relationships can quickly become imbalanced, with one person giving more than the other or feeling taken advantage of. Over time, this imbalance leads to resentment, frustration, and ultimately the breakdown of the relationship. Establishing clear boundaries allows both parties to operate from a place of respect, understanding, and consideration. It gives both people the space to be their authentic selves while still honoring each other's needs. Establishing boundaries is also crucial for our personal growth and development. When we set boundaries, we are essentially saying, I value myself enough to protect my space and my energy. This act of self-respect sends a powerful message to ourselves and to others. It reinforces our worth and our right to prioritize our own needs. Too often, we neglect our own desires and aspirations in favor of others, thinking that we should always be available to meet their needs. This creates a sense of imbalance and keeps us from fully pursuing our own goals and dreams. When we establish healthy boundaries, we create the space necessary for our own growth. We give ourselves permission to say yes to the things that align with our values and aspirations, and no to the things that drain us or distract us from our purpose. Boundaries are a tool that allows us to take ownership of our lives and steer them in the direction we want to go. In professional settings, boundaries are just as important. In the workplace, boundaries help to maintain a sense of professionalism and respect. When we fail to establish clear boundaries at work, we risk overextending ourselves, which can lead to stress, burnout, and resentment. Setting boundaries in the workplace is not about rejecting responsibilities, but about finding a healthy balance between our work obligations and our personal lives. It's about knowing when to say no to additional tasks or projects that will stretch us too thin, and when to ask for support when needed. Boundaries in the workplace can also prevent toxic work environments where people take advantage of others' willingness to overperform or neglect their own needs for the sake of the job. By establishing clear boundaries, we contribute to a healthier, more balanced work culture where everyone's needs are respected and people can work together more effectively. In romantic relationships, boundaries are essential for building a foundation of trust and mutual respect. Without boundaries, relationships can quickly become enmeshed, where one person's identity becomes indistinguishable from the others. This can lead to codependency, where each person feels the need to rely on the other for validation and self-worth. Healthy boundaries in romantic relationships allow both individuals to maintain their own identities and pursue their individual goals while still being a supportive partner. The boundaries ensure that both people feel safe to express their desires and needs without fear of judgment or rejection. They create the space for both partners to grow individually while growing together as a couple. One of the most challenging aspects of setting boundaries is dealing with the reactions of others. People may not always understand or respect the boundaries we set. They may feel hurt, disappointed, or even angry because they are used to being able to take advantage of our time and energy without limitations. However, it is important to remember that boundaries are not about controlling others. They are about controlling ourselves and how we allow others to treat us. If someone reacts negatively to your boundaries, it's a reflection of their own issues, not a reflection of your worth or value. It is crucial to stand firm in your boundaries, even when others resist them. Over time, people will come to understand that you are serious about protecting your space, and they will either adjust their behavior or move on. In either case, you will have preserved your peace and ensured that only those who respect you are in your life. The process of setting boundaries is not always easy, especially if we are not accustomed to asserting our needs, or if we have spent a lot of time accommodating others at the expense of ourselves. It requires self-awareness, self-respect, and the courage to enforce our limits. Setting boundaries means being clear about what you need, communicating that to others, and being consistent in enforcing those boundaries. It may take time, especially if we have allowed others to overstep our limits in the past, but the more we practice setting boundaries, the easier it becomes. Over time, setting boundaries will become a natural and necessary part of your life. It will become the standard by which you measure your relationships and the way you take care of your own well-being. Ultimately, the act of establishing boundaries is a powerful tool for creating a life that reflects your values, protects your peace, and fosters healthy relationships. Boundaries are not about shutting people out. They are about teaching others how to treat you with respect and allowing you to maintain your own integrity. When you set boundaries, you are telling the world that your time, energy, and well-being are valuable. You are saying that you are worthy of respect and that you will not settle for anything less. Offering second chances is a concept that many of us have heard repeatedly throughout our lives, often presented as a noble act of forgiveness and compassion. The idea behind giving someone a second chance is rooted in empathy, understanding that everyone makes mistakes and should be allowed an opportunity to right their wrongs. However, while second chances can indeed be powerful tools for growth and redemption, they also carry significant risks, especially when we offer them to people who do not genuinely value them or are not committed to change. Offering second chances too freely can enable mistreatment, fostering an environment where disrespect, manipulation, and exploitation thrive. The truth is, not everyone who asks for a second chance is deserving of it. People who have shown a pattern of hurtful or abusive behavior are often adept at convincing others that they've changed, when in reality they have only learned how to be more persuasive in order to continue their harmful actions. When we extend second chances to those who are not sincere in their desire to change, we not only allow them to continue mistreating us, but we also enable a cycle of harm that can lead to long-term emotional and psychological damage. There is a fine line between being forgiving and setting ourselves up for continual disappointment and harm. We must recognize that forgiveness does not necessarily require us to keep putting ourselves in situations where we are mistreated. Mistreatment can take many forms: emotional, psychological, physical, and even financial. People who mistreat others often rely on the victim's ability to forgive and offer second chances as a means of continuing their harmful behavior. They may exploit the other person's goodwill, assuming that their actions will be tolerated because they have apologized or made promises to change. However, empty apologies and broken promises do little to heal the damage caused by their actions. The cycle of mistreatment continues because the individual who is being hurt has allowed it to persist by offering forgiveness without requiring real change. In many cases, this only deepens the feelings of powerlessness and self-doubt in the person being mistreated, making it even harder for them to break free from the toxic relationship. There are several reasons why people might find it difficult to say no to offering second chances. Often it's rooted in a fear of being seen as cold or unforgiving. Society places a high value on compassion and understanding, sometimes to the point where it becomes detrimental to our own well-being. We are taught to believe that giving people second chances is virtuous and that withholding forgiveness is somehow morally wrong. This belief can trap us in unhealthy situations where we continue to tolerate mistreatment in the name of kindness. However, kindness is not synonymous with enabling harmful behavior. It is important to realize that offering second chances in situations where they are not warranted is not an act of kindness, it is an act of self-neglect. Another reason people may offer second chances to those who do not deserve them is a deep-seated desire to maintain relationships. Whether in romantic partnerships, friendships, or family dynamics, many individuals fear the consequences of severing ties with someone who has hurt them. They may worry about the isolation that could come from cutting someone out of their life, or the guilt that might accompany making that decision. The fear of being alone or being perceived as cruel often leads people to offer second chances to those who have hurt them. This is particularly true in toxic relationships where the person being mistreated has become emotionally dependent on the abuser, unable to recognize that the relationship is doing more harm than good. In these situations, the fear of loss or rejection overrides the need for self-preservation, causing the individual to continue offering second chances that enable the mistreatment to persist. Offering second chances can also stem from a belief in the potential for change. We all have hope that people can grow, evolve, and become better versions of themselves. It is natural to want to believe in the good in others and to think that with time they will change for the better. However, we must also recognize that people only change when they are truly committed to doing so, and even then, change is a difficult and lengthy process. Offering second chances to someone who has shown no genuine effort to change only reinforces their belief that they can continue behaving in harmful ways without consequence. The promise of a second chance should never be seen as a blank slate for harmful behavior. It should be conditional on the person demonstrating true remorse, taking responsibility for their actions, and making an effort to improve. Furthermore, there is a psychological component to offering second chances that can enable mistreatment. People who have been hurt in the past, especially in intimate relationships, often have an overwhelming desire to believe that the relationship can be salvaged. They may feel that their love, understanding, and forgiveness will somehow fix the other person, healing the wounds that have been inflicted. This hope can cloud their judgment, making it difficult to see that their efforts to repair the relationship are being exploited. Instead of recognizing that their needs are not being met, they continue to offer second chances, hoping that the other person will finally change. This emotional attachment to the idea of reconciliation blinds them to the reality of the situation, that they are not dealing with a person who is committed to change, but rather someone who is taking advantage of their goodwill. Mistreatment enabled by second chances can also have long-term effects on the person who repeatedly offers forgiveness. Over time, the emotional toll of being continuously mistreated can lead to feelings of anger, resentment, and low self-esteem. As the individual tolerates more and more harm in the name of compassion, they begin to question their own worth. They may wonder why they continue to allow someone to treat them badly, or worse, they may come to believe that they somehow deserve the mistreatment. This internalized self-blame can lead to emotional numbness, depression, and a loss of confidence in one's ability to make sound decisions. The emotional cost of offering second chances to someone who is not committed to change can be devastating, stripping away the individual's sense of self and leaving them feeling powerless. The cycle of mistreatment and second chances can also impact those around us. In families, for example, children may witness this behavior and internalize the message that it is acceptable to tolerate mistreatment in relationships. They may learn to ignore their own boundaries, thinking that second chances should be offered to everyone, regardless of their actions. This sets a dangerous precedent, perpetuating the cycle of mistreatment for generations to come. By continuing to offer second chances to those who have shown a pattern of hurtful behavior, we are not only allowing ourselves to be mistreated, but also enabling others to repeat the same patterns of harm. Ultimately, the decision to offer someone a second chance should not be taken lightly. It is important to recognize that forgiveness and compassion do not require us to continue to put ourselves in situations where we are mistreated. Offering second chances is not about allowing others to continue to harm us. It is about allowing room for change in the right circumstances. If the person has demonstrated genuine remorse, taken responsibility for their actions, and shown a sincere commitment to change, then a second chance may be warranted. However, if the person continues to show the same behavior without making any effort to change, offering a second chance only enables the mistreatment to persist. In such cases, it is crucial to recognize that we must protect our own well-being and set boundaries to prevent further harm.